Hello friends, myself Suresh. In this video, we would be seeing the practical steps of analyzing a file via the OLEDBG software. So what is this OLEDBG software? So if we can see on the website, it mentions that it is a assembler level analyzing debugger for Microsoft Windows. Now what does this mean? 32-bit assembler level means this can analyze any 32-bit file. Now what does this software do? See, whenever we have any file, any exe file or any programming file that has been developed, it is the program is written in a high level language, right? It is written in Java, Python, C, C++, or any high level language. And after the program is written in this high level language, it is first converted to the assembly level language. And after being converted to the assembly level language, it is converted into the machine level language. And it is this machine level language which is executed by our CPU, which is understood by our system. Okay, so whenever we try to debug an application from the perspective of an analyst, or from if you want to know the actual work done by the particular software, we need to analyze the things that are actually happening in the CPU. Okay, when we don't have the source code available with us. So the machine language is not something which is very much human understandable. We cannot understand it. So what we do, now we convert the machine level language back into the assembly level language, and then we analyze the assembly level language and try to figure out the steps which the application is trying to take during its execution. Now, there can be two ways to it. It can either be static or dynamic. Static means we do not run the application, we just just put the dump the image in the memory, and we just get back the assembly level language from the memory, and then we try to analyze that. But we are not running the application. Okay, so in dynamic analysis, what we do is that we run the application also, and during the runtime we can see the changes in the application, the steps it takes, and those kind of things. So OLEDBG is a very good software for doing that, and in this particular demo we would be using this OLEDBG software to uh, demonstrate how to analyze or how to see the runtime flow of an application. So for the demo, I would be using this Putty software, which is very easily downloadable. We can just search for download Putty exe. In the first site, we can get the download link for Putty. We should be careful to download the 32-bit only, because OLEDBG supports 32-bit softwares only. So I have downloaded the OLEDBG software. I'll go in advanced analysis. Yeah, this is the OLEDBG software. So I would just start this as administrator. Always start this software as administrator, because it needs access to the memory, the core kernel, and those kind of things. Okay, so once this window opens, what we will do is go to file, open, and we need the Putty software, right? So Putty software downloaded and installed it. This is the Putty software. So I have to get the actual file. So I'll go to C, file 86 Putty, and this is the Putty file. Okay, so I'll just copy this and I'll put it on desktop. Okay, so if I just run this application, I need to give a host name. Just give a IP address. Now this IP address belongs to another system that is running on my host machine. This is the Metasploitable 2 VM, which is running on the same host machine, and all of these are connected by the bridge adapter. So here we can see the IP address is 192.168.29.8. Okay, so here we can see it. So we'll just minimize this and I'll try to connect to this VM. So I can see it is asking me for a window, and the text is login as. Okay, LOGIN space AS. So this is what we are seeing. So now I want to run this program, and while running the program, I want to see the exact steps that are being executed, and I'll try to modify that using the OLEDBG software. So I'll just click on file, click on open on the desktop, and click on putty.exe. Yeah, this opened. So this is the exact assembly level code. And if I right now, if I try to do anything, suppose I search for any reference text string, because I know I would see the login as, I need to suppose change that. So if I try to click on this, it should not, because it is not running. Okay, so I have to first click on this run button. The moment I click on run, it will start running in the background, and then I can actually do my analysis. So here we can see that all the things that are happening in the memory, the push, move, call, pop, test, jump if equal, call, everything, all the commands we can see over here, and we can analyze from here as well. Or what we can do is I'll click on right click, and I will click on where do I search? Yes, search for all reference text strings. Okay. So I need to search for login as. So before searching, see this draw window is in the like almost towards the end. I need to take it up because search would go in only one direction over here from up to down. I click on search for text. Okay, login as, we can remove the case sensitive. Then click on OK. So here I can see one reference is there. Okay, login as, which is highlighted. This is in 11E2DF0. Okay, this is one. And let me see if there are some search next. Okay, there is another one. This is in this location, login as. Okay, so now it is in pause. Okay, so basically there are two instances of login as. So now we will try to change that to something else, and we will then save this particular file, and that will be the demo of this tool. So what I will do, search for text. Okay, login as, this is the first instance. So I'll right click, follow and disassembler. Okay, so over here we can see this is the disassembler. It is given login as. I'll right click over here, I'll click on assemble. This is the actual like instruction that is there. So I'll try to change this instruction. Instead of A, let us make it as C. I'll click on assemble. So we can see it change from LOGIN to GIN. Okay, so now instead of login, when we run the application, we should see GINS. Okay, and there were two instances of this, so we have to do the same on both the instances. So I'll again go to reference text strings. Yes, I'll go to the top, search for text, login as. Okay, and now there should be only one because the other one we have changed. So I'll right click, follow in disassembler. Okay, this is the second login as. I'll right click this, click on assemble, and same. Oh, instead of A, I'll make it as C. Okay, click on assemble. So this is also GINS. I'll click on cancel. Okay, so the two instances have been changed. To verify that, what we can do is we can search for reference text strings. This time, if I search for login as, I should not be able to find a single instance. Let's see. Paused. So nothing it was able to find. No login as it was able to find because both have been changed. If I search for GINS, then it should be able to find it. Yeah, see GINS, one instance found. Search next. Okay, search next. So it is able to find GINS. Okay, so I'll close this window, and now as this has been done, I will right click, copy to executable all the modifications. I'll click on copy all. I'll click on yes, save this. Yes, yes, I'll close this. The moment I close, it will tell me want to save changes. I'll click on yes, the desktop. I'll save this now as putty 2.exe. Okay, click on save. I'll close this window. So now I have putty 2.exe, absolutely same file. Okay, so if I open this file and I give the same IP address, I click on open. See, now I can see it is showing as GINS instead of login as. If I open this one, okay, if I open this one and I give this, we can see it is giving login as. Okay, but in our modified version, we can see GINS. So this is how we can change the behavior of the application in the runtime Okay, and we can then save the application. So everything would be same. We can just this is how actually the genuine applications are counterfeited and malwares are inserted into them, and the user is like literally left with no other option to know whether the software is genuine or not. So that's why it is always mentioned to check the hash value, because if we compare the hash values of these two programs, it would be different. Otherwise, from normal perspective, both the applications are absolutely the same. You can see over here size, everything is same. So there is literally no way for normal people to know whether this application is modified or not. But yes, if we use the hash value, and if we can get to know that, so it is always advisable to download applications from genuine websites, so that no tampering is done on that. And this was a brief demo on how to use the OnlyDBG software. Hope you like this video and this video was informative. Thank you very much for your time.